welcome everyone. Welcome to Gibraltar. Absolutely amazing to be here. Thank you to Michael and Platform Sports for putting on such an amazing show that we're going to have on Sunday night. And it is Sunday night, December 15th, Dillian Whyte versus Ebenezer Tetteh. And we're going to have a fantastic show. Kicking off our card on Sunday night is Nico Shtik-Niashvili, Cathal Crowley, Sedem Amma, Jermaine Dyo, and Thomas Carty, Mike Perez, and Dillian Whyte leading the card with Ebenezer Tetteh. Joining me on our panel here today, have of course Mike Perez here on the end. We have Ebenezer Tetteh, myself, Michael Ofo, the head of Platform Sports. Of course, we've got Dillian Whyte and Thomas Carty on the end. Michael, I'll go to you first. Let's just talk about why we're in Gibraltar and why you decided on having this incredible event and fight week in such a beautiful city and country like Gibraltar.
Yeah, I think the last experience that we had here, seeing the passion of the fans, seeing the culture, seeing that there's a real opportunity for growth of boxing in Gibraltar, and seeing it's still at its grassroots level. And I've traveled the world, I've been different places and been different heights of boxing. And this really kind of, it humbled me, reminded me of how I started and when the journey began. So once we decided to do more promotions, it was always a place that I wanted to be a part of the growth of.
Absolutely, and obviously we were in collaboration this weekend with Dazn. Platform Sports, it's a new company, it's a new promotional outfit, but already you've proven to yourself and proven to boxing fans that we are going to see a fantastic card. Yeah. It is those 50-50 fights, and it is about creating a blueprint for fighters to give them a platform. The new fighters like Thomas Carty on the end, and seasoned elite level athletes like Dillian who have a platform now to go and to show the world that they still are able to put on these great fights, and we have these great fight nights as well.
Yeah, I think each of the fighters have something in common. They're all hungry and have massive desire. I look at Cattle. This guy was calling me about 7 times a day, constantly on my case. And at one stage, I really wanted to block him. But again, it's the passion and the hunger that he has to change his life. So as soon as a slot became open, he was the first person I thought of, because that's what it's about. It's about those guys that don't have a voice but want to be on the big stages. It's about giving them the platform and sharing the space with them. If you look at Sedem Amma, you know, she doesn't have to box. She's a career woman. She's a professional, a high-flying professional. But this is her passion, this is her desire. And, you know, she's been through a lot. And for her to still keep going, there's not many people that would have carried on boxing. So the hunger, the passion and desire is what motivates me to put on these shows, and what I think is going to keep the fire burning for platform sport to grow and progress. If you look at Mike Perez, I've had about 7 people pull out from fighting Mike Perez, as he's going to tell you the daddy's home. You know? Nobody wants to fight him. He's had a rough time. I remember when I first got into boxing, he was one of the first fighters that I used to watch. You know, and boxing is a cruel place. We're not going to go into his story, but he's still got so much more to offer the sport, so much more to offer his fan base, and we want to give those guys the opportunity, because when it gets rough in there and it gets to that dark place, that's what's going to push them through. So.
Absolutely. Well, that's a great segue for me to bring in Mike. Mike Perez, welcome to Gibraltar. It's great to have you here. You're hearing Michael, the head of Platform Sports here, talking about your heritage within the sport and, you know, what you are going to bring on Sunday night. For you to be in Gibraltar, to have this opportunity with Platform Sports and Dazn, tell us how much it means to you.
Well, thank you. First of all, I want to thank Michael and Platform and Dillian Whyte for giving me the opportunity to be here. Just to bring on Sunday, then we have to wait until Sunday. All I can say is that I'm hungry, that is back, and I'm ready to put a show. I lost a lot in this boxing in my life, and I'm ready to get it back.
You're somebody who maybe the newer boxing fans may not know your name, but there's definitely people within boxing who will know how good you are, how exciting you are as a fighter, and what you can bring. For you, do you feel like this is a new start or a new invigoration, a new pathway in your career?
Yeah, definitely. You know, I definitely think that this is like a new beginning for me, and most likely the last one. So I am ready. I am all in. I'm gonna take everything is mine.
Does it make it that little bit different if you look back on your career and, you know, how you used to box or how you used to approach fights in the past? Is it changed now?
I never look at the past. The past is in the past. I just look forward. So that's what I am here, till here. You know, if I look at the past, like I wouldn't be here right now. I just keep looking forward, and I'm looking forward to just Sunday night.
Absolutely. Well, let's talk about Sunday night. We're here in Gibraltar in the Europa Point Stadium. It's a fantastic venue. What can fans expect from Mike Perez this Sunday?
They can expect what they always see on me, you know, the best. I come to win. I come to put a show. I don't know whatever way I gonna win, knockout or no knockout, whatever, but I gonna win. You know,
Knockout.
in boxing you can't say it like that, but like, yeah, the man said it, so knockout. So let's go and get the knockout done.
And what does a win mean to you on Sunday? What does it mean for your career going forward?
That win for me, just coming from a layoff for a year, is mean like that is back.
And hungry.
Yes. Every cruiserweight there, every bridgeweight, right? Every bridgeweight, I go back to heavyweight then. But every cruiserweight and bridgeweight there, I am back.
Well, we heard you during the week in your media, and Michael, talk about Mike and say, you know, bridgerweight, cruiserweight, heavyweight, he will fight anybody.
He will fight anybody. He wants them all.
For you as a promoter, how exciting is that to know that you've got a lot to work with there?
Listen, Mike Perez is somebody that you probably need to pull back. He's not somebody that cowards away from any fight. I'm very new to this game, and I've got a newfound respect for some of the promoters, because sometimes dealing with fighters is difficult, and I've never had to wear those shoes. But Mike Perez is, you send him an opponent, no problem. It's okay. Any opponent that you send him, no problem. So I think that next year is going to be a very exciting year for him. He's going to be on the tails of all the top cruiserweights. He's joined forces with Pascal Collins, who's a renowned and experienced trainer. And I think next year is going to be a breakthrough year. He's going to be put in some tough positions, and he's going to have to sink or swim.
Absolutely. You referenced Pascal Collins, who we have in the audience here, who's, of course, a fellow countryman, and, you know, one of the names in Ireland that is synonymous with boxing and with Irish boxing. And that leads us perfectly to the other end of our table. Another of his students, as we would say, Thomas Carty, who joins on the card here as well. Thomas, welcome to Gibraltar.
Thank you.
I know we were all on the same flight coming out here last night, and you are very excited to be once again out and be once again showing boxing fans what you can bring to boxing.
Yeah, absolutely. Really, really excited to be here. Very, very grateful for my management team, Dillian and Magic, and it looks like it's shaping up to be a really good show Sunday. So really, really looking forward to it, and honoured to be on the card along such great names. And the guys I looked up to, really, when I started out boxing, I remember looking at Dillian Whyte and Mike Perez, and now I'm sat at the top table, which is a full circle moment for me. So really, really excited for Sunday. Looking forward to putting on a great performance and finishing off a great year and setting me up for a massive 2025.
So let's talk about, you know, this amazing year that you've had and what will follow on Sunday night if you get another win under your belt. When you get another win under your belt on Sunday night. I mean, you're at that very important cusp in your career where you have the name, you have a following, you have the brand getting set up, and now it's all about, fanatic wins and big wins, and those big wins can lead on to big things for you.
Yeah, absolutely. It's really, really important now for me to kind of, set each performance alight with a statement knockout. And I'm 9-0 now. My last 8 fights have ended in knockouts, and Sunday will be no different. And 2025, I'm looking to do some really, really big things and put my stamp on things.
And obviously, we're not looking past Sunday night. We're not looking past your opponent. But for you, at this early stage in your career, is it hard to keep yourself kind of, okay, I need to take my time. I need to kind of pace myself in my career?
Yeah, it's quite difficult because, I see what's going on at the moment in the boxing landscape, and I see how my management team has done such a great job. For example, with Fabio Wardley, he's blowing things up at the moment.
Yeah.
And he's a guy who I would have looked up when I started and would have kind of based myself off, look how Fabio's doing, if I can do something like Fabio. And that was early days. Look at him now. So it's hard not to get excited. But, first things first, Sunday, another great performance, another massive knockout, something for people to get excited about. And then we'll plan an attack on 2025.
Absolutely. And of course, anyone who's been to your previous fights before or has seen anything with you online will know that you bring a very strong Irish contingent. You've got a lot of support coming from Dublin and from Ireland as a whole. So no doubt they'll be travelling for this weekend, will they?
Yeah, absolutely, 100%. As always, I bring a massive crowd, and I bring a lot of excitement when I fight, and there's a lot of people really excited for Sunday, and seems to be a lot of people travelling over this close to Christmas. I think that says a lot.
Absolutely. Michael, for you, how exciting is it to have someone like Thomas who's proved that he is a contender in the heavyweight division, but also brings an exciting fight and is at that new end of his career that he still has, you're still able to navigate it, to shape it. How exciting is it as a promoter, as a manager?
Yeah, again, I think Thomas is one of the most exciting heavyweights out there. He's leading the pack for the boxing in Ireland, somewhere that we're planning on doing a lot of shows. Next year is going to be a massive year for Thomas. Thomas is going to be in some real difficult, tough fights, some real 50-50 fights. I think it's going to be a breakthrough year for Thomas, and we're going to really see what Thomas is going to be made of. Our management company is called Sink or Swim, and this is going to be a year where Thomas is going to sink or he's going to swim. He's been asking for the big opportunities, and a part of setting this up is to provide them with their requests. So next year, Thomas is going to be involved in some really big fights, and I've got no doubt he's going to pass with flying colours. Thomas is even better than he knows he is. Mm-hmm. And the moment that switch goes on and he realised how good he actually is, I don't think there's going to be many people that can live with him. He's knocking guys out, and he's probably only at 50-60% of what he can really do. Once he starts getting to those 80%, on his day, he can beat anybody.
Absolutely. And as I say, an exciting division for him to be in the heavyweight division, which takes us perfectly to our main event on Sunday night, Dillian Whyte versus Ebenezer Tetteh. A fantastic fight, a fantastic inclusion into the heavyweight division, and it has been a year of conversation about the heavyweight division, and we'll get to Dillian in just a bit because his contribution to heavyweight boxing has been absolutely incredible over the years. And for anyone that's going to be here on Sunday night or tuning in on Dazn, it is all going to be about Dillian, and it is going to be about his performance and where does that put him back into the heavyweight mix-up after Sunday night. For you, let's talk about that main event and putting it together. And obviously with Tetteh, a lot of people will think that he's going to come and it's going to be an easy fight for Dillian, but he's got a lot to prove here on Sunday night. Mm-hmm.
Ebenezer Tetteh is only lost to the current world champion in Daniel Dubois. Everybody else that he's faced, they've seen the Ghanaian power. They've seen him knock guys out cold. So he has a lot of power and he's not scared. So I expect him to walk forward and meet Dillian, center of the ring. I think he's the danger in him. We don't know how good he is. Like I said, he's only lost to the current world champion. So I expect it's going to be a really good fight, and I expect him to present a few challenges to Dillian. But Dillian Whyte is not here to mess around, and I expect him to knock Ebenezer out.
Well, Ebenezer, I know that we have a translator that's going to translate for us here today. But first of all, welcome to Gibraltar. How excited are you to be in Gibraltar for this weekend's big night?
Amen. Tawana ameliakashi usmone ni oyo biene onanincho.
Minda meshi.
He says thank you.
Akeshi I'm looking at Benjamin. Energy, in first time in Babiane.
This is my first trip to Gibraltar.
In quite a fighter.
I've been watching Dillian Whyte.
I'm a good fighter.
He's a good fighter.
Good fighter, Jimmy.
And I'm also a good fighter.
Means money, they can fight me and run on it. Rough work about me. One of the fair for.
I'd like everyone to know that I'm here to fight and I'm not going to roll over.
Well, that leads me to my next question, in that people may think that that might happen on Sunday night, but you have a lot to prove on Sunday, and a win over someone like Dillian Whyte could be huge for your career.
Okay, akashika uyi padine ubana ubana wale. God will show. I'm not scared.
Well, thank you so much, and we look forward to seeing you on Sunday night.
You're
And it's going to be an incredible main event. Let's talk to your
Thank you.
opponent, Dillian Whyte. Dillian, welcome to Gibraltar. I know you've been here before. You've had some great experiences here. How excited are you to be back in the ring Sunday night, and back in a place like Gibraltar that has been very, very well received by boxing and also by yourself?
Firstly, thanks everyone for being here. I'm grateful to be back, and it's been a tough last 2 years. I've had like 3 rounds in 2 years, so it's been tough, but we're back and I'm excited. New life, new energy. I feel good, and I'm looking forward to making my last final assault in heavyweight division. So I know I can't afford any mess up, and it's great to be at the Gibraltar and people support me. Obviously, I fought Alexander Povetkin, beat him up, lost to him, and we decided to have the rematch here, and they allowed us to have crowd, and it's been great. And I'm almost like a Gibraltarian resident. I come here regularly. I got a good connection here, and the people love me here, and they show a lot of respect and time for me here. So yeah, it's great to be here fighting again.
Absolutely. Well, you say 3 rounds in 2 years, but your name has still very much always been in the heavyweight mix-up. It's always been at the top of the table with the discussions. So for you, that obviously says something about the legacy that you have within heavyweight boxing and what you've done within the sport.
My story and my style is relatable to the normal people, the average Joe. Obviously, I'm a fighter. I come to fight. I've been fighting my whole life, and I'm not scared to fight. Obviously, when I was in number 1 position, I kept on risking it until I rolled the dice the wrong way eventually, but got that back. I'm a fighter and a warrior. Me and Mike was talking earlier. I used to go spar with Mike Perez when I first started. I used to get beat up. Mike Perez was probably one of the best southpaws I've ever sparred, if the best actually. So we was laughing about it and saying how far we've come. But I wasn't scared. He can tell you, I used to just get close and have a shootout with him, because I was like, this guy's outboxing me, and that's always been my mindset. I'll ever go. I'm not scared to ever go. I'll ever go, or whenever.
Well, that is actually, that is something that fight fans, when you mention the name Dillian Whyte, that's what they pair it up with. A fighter's fighter, loves to fight, he's going to bring it. So no matter who you're facing, no matter where it is in the world, fans know that if they tune in, they're going to get an absolutely top-class heavyweight shootout.
Yeah, obviously, I need to come back in a good way and good fashion. That's why we picked this opponent, because like he said, he's not scared and he's going to come to fight. And I think that will be his undoing. So, I just want to fight, man. That's it. I miss the violence. As crude as it might sound, I miss the violence. I took some time off, relaxed, done the Family Guy stuff, and I'm like, I need violence in my life.
Well, let's talk about violence on Sunday night, because we are here in Gibraltar at the Europa Point Stadium. It's a fantastic venue. You are going to be back in there. I know we can't talk tactics, we can't talk, predictions and things like that. But for you, how do you see this fight going? What do you think that Tetteh is going to bring to the table on Sunday night?
We've come from the dirt to nothing, from nothing to something. So I can understand his mindset a little bit. I was a different place, different country. We're from third world countries. I know he's hungry. He's coming to fight. He's coming to change his life. He's trying to fight from the dirt to somewhere. He's trying, It's dangerous because he wants to change his whole life. And a lot of fighters that come from Africa, Cuba, Jamaica, all these places, it's hell in some of these countries for us. So we're just trying all we want is a fight in terms of change our life. And he's had one against Daniel Dubois. Now he's had another one. So I expect him to come and fight. He's going to be tough to subdue, but he's going to get subdued eventually. You know, whether it's 1 round, 2 rounds. You know, like I was saying to Buddy, I say I won a few rounds, but the bell might start. I just had to say, hey, you know, I don't know, but I would love to get a few rounds. You know, I mean, he's a tough guy. He's at 80-something% knockout ratio, and he's got ambition. You know, he lost to Dubois. He went and got a couple of wins, which speak volume to me. Because most people that come from our background, they lose and they just take hard fights without notice because they want to get paid. But he didn't seem to do that, so it shows he's got ambition and he likes the feeling and taste of winning.
With a win for you on Sunday night, where does that place you? Where does that put you within the heavyweight mix?
It put me right back up there, you know, obviously, heavyweight division, you're 1 or 2 good performances away from being back in the top, and that's all I want to do. I just want a chance to fight. In my opinion, there's only 3 or 4 more people I need to fight, and then I fought everyone around in my era, and I fought all the best fighters in the past 10 years, so that's my goal, is to fight them and to try and become world champion. I try and have another shot at the world title. You know, this time around I'll be much more prepared and stuff. And yeah, you know, that's it.
Absolutely. Before we wrap up here, we'll finish with Michael just to capsulate again this event that's happening December 15th here at the Europa Point Stadium in Gibraltar. We have an undercard, of course, to your left is Thomas Carty. Mm-hmm. We have all these guys like Mike, like you said, that you've sparred Mike in the early days. Now he's on your undercard. You have your new prospect, Thomas Carty. So for you, you know, I don't know, a lot of people know your story. They know your kind of your history within boxing, but you're also in another element of management, of promotion, of helping new fighters or giving fighters a new lease of life. How important is that to you to be involved?
I just want to give people chance and opportunity, because no one gave me no chance and opportunity when I was coming through. I just want to give back a little. You know, I've done a lot of wrong things and bad things in my life, so I just want to give back a little, so hopefully the blessing goes to my children. You know what I mean? So that's it. I just want to help people to change their life. It makes me feel good, and it's a good thing to do. You know what I mean? As people, we don't really help each other enough and really sort of give people opportunity. You know what I mean? I came up the hard way. You know what I mean? When I used to go and spar with Mike, I was grateful when they called me because I know I was getting 500 euros a week. I was like, wow. I was like, okay, my jaw is a bit sore, but the 500 euros a week is worth it, you know what I mean? But, you know, so I'm just grateful to try and help people as much as I can do, you know what I mean? That's the aim. You know, it's like Thomas. When Thomas came over to spar, he said he had 1 fight. And I was like, you've been pro for ages, you've only had 1 fight. And then I could see his potential. He's a big guy, you know. And me and him just get on, and I said to myself, you know what? I can try and help this guy. And then signed him and then try and help him. And he's done everything we've asked for. You know, obviously he's working with Pascal. He seems to be listening to Pascal a lot more. He's getting better. He comes out to Portugal and spar with me and stuff, and we get on well. And, you know, now get him another victory Sunday.
Michael, I'll leave the final word with you ahead of Sunday night's big event here in Gibraltar. We've heard from everyone on the table here, and it does seem like it's all guns pointing towards a fantastic night of boxing here in Gibraltar.
Yes. Like we said, it's going to be live on Dazn. They've backed the underdogs. They've backed the corner of fighting men that are hungry. And all of these guys are hungry to perform. So I expect when the bell goes, it's going to be all fireworks. So yes, I want everyone to tune in, sit back, and yeah.
Can
Absolutely.
I say one thing before we go?
You can indeed.
I just want to big up Saddam for obviously helping with the show and being great, being awesome. Obviously, you know, she's a up-and-coming prospect. I think she can be world champion. She just needs the right chances, you know what I mean? And she's been going for a lot as well, and I'm really proud of her. Well done.
Well done, Saddam. And I'm right, Saddam is one of your management fighters as well. Absolutely.
She doesn't look like a fighter, does she?
Not at all, like a model, but she can fight. That's absolutely for sure. But thank you so much, everyone, for joining us here. We'll see you on Sunday night. We actually have our weigh-ins tomorrow.
Yep,
Yeah.
1 o'clock.
1 o'clock. So we see everyone on Sunday night, and you can tune in, of course, on Dazn in association with Platform Sports. We look forward to seeing everyone there. Thank you very much.
Thank you.